Hello,
Yo,
everybody.
yo, yo. What up? Watch out for
You
the
going to
cord,
the
baby.
dog?
All right, go on.
Come here. Ty, come here. Come
We're
here.
just
You want a
getting our
treat?
dog
All
out
right.
of here.
Treat? Come on.
That's awesome.
Dishes. Don't forget to do the dishes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Parenting. Hello. How are you guys tonight? It is good to kind of see you.
Yeah, say hello so we know you're tuning in, who you are, where you're from.
Yeah, don't be a creeper. If you're watching, say where you're from, please, and your name so we can kind of map things out of what's working in what places.
Yeah, and that way it doesn't feel like we're just talking to the air here.
Yeah.
We like to engage with you.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
If it works.
That's awesome. We're
There's
staring at the
Jeff.
phone.
That's okay.
What up,
As
Joe?
long as you can't see my pants, we're okay.
Yeah, but
You
you
know I
can
don't
see our
like that.
shirts.
Tribe leader.
Tribe leaders, this is us. Hallelujah, leading our tribe the best we can.
I saw you out there running today, Joe, or walking. Way to take the fitness on. And Mandy, you guys were out there in the heat. It was
Oof.
hot.
Oof,
Hot.
oof. Way to be
You were making
active
it count. Yes.
on your day off. Praise them.
Hi, Rachel Roll from Prattville.
What
What's
up?
Stephanie? Hello, Mary. My name is Rachel. What up, Michael? See, yes, we like the engagement. It's like we're talking full of room.
The engagement.
A room full of people.
Engagement.
Yes.
Instead of just sitting up here with the fish. And we already got rid of the dog. So, it's nice to have people. Yes.
Yes.
People. Ready to jump in?
I don't know,
For
should
the
we ask them
replayers?
if they listen, if anything worked for them this week that we talked about last week?
Ask away.
I want to know if any of you guys had any episodes this past week, because last week's episode we talked about,
One-liners.
not arguing. What would we call it? The antidote to arguing. The antidote to arguing. So I was just
Antidote.
curious, like feedback for those of you that watch on the regular. If you had any scenarios come up where you were able to use those one-liners. Rachel, I already know that you use them. Very good,
Yes.
very good.
By the way, while we were at the pool with you guys the other day, I noticed you were given the choices with Nadia. Amazing, killing it. And of course, she was doing exactly what you needed her to do. That was awesome. I loved seeing it work in action. It's beautiful.
Yeah, thanks,
Beautiful.
Stephanie, about the shirts. Amber actually got us these shirts, right, Amber?
I think so.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Amber got them for us, and so, yay! I thought that was a good one to wear today. We want This Is Us ones, every time, different colors and different
Soon.
sayings. That would be good. But we try to be matchy-matchy, because isn't it extra cute? It's extra cute.
Yeah.
We like
At
to be
least
extra cute.
We think so.
Rachel
That's hilarious.
Haslett, Michelle Stringer, hello.
What up, what up,
Hey,
what up?
thanks for tuning in.
Yes, today is the big topic that we have had numerous people talking to us about. Discipline.
Yes.
Discipline.
With freedom and love.
Discipline in the house of grace. How do you parent? How do you discipline?
Do any of these things
How
look
do
familiar?
you discipline in the house of grace?
The wooden spoon. This was famous for a little bit in the house. Just pulling it out. Just giving the visual.
Just the visual.
Any of you guys familiar with the wooden spoon in your house? Or maybe hot sauce. Did any of you have hot sauce that was given to you as a form of discipline?
Yeah. Or
What did you use, Stephanie? You used the spoon? That's what you used? I'd like to know what people used. Or what did your parents use on you?
That's mostly
Engage
what
with
it
me
is.
back and forth on here. Yeah, what did parents
Let's
use?
open this thing up.
Yeah, on you. And then maybe what have you used for your kids? Yes. Should we say who?
Yes, my mom.
Confessions.
My mom's favorite thing ever was the bar of Zest soap. When I was talking back and swearing and doing things that I shouldn't have been doing and had a dirty mouth, she had to clean it. And it was always the twist that scraped it around onto my teeth and in between my teeth that let me remember for at least 2 hours of sudsy mouth. Yes, it only worked when she was around.
This was what I had here. This was growing up. This was mine. Yes, that was very effective for the moment.
It was
Really.
very effective while you were around.
Yes, lots of fear for a
Yes.
minute. Yes,
Yes.
running away.
This comes in handy.
Yes.
It's a good spoon for spaghetti. Yes. Does
So I
any
don't
of the
know-
stuff ring a bell?
Is that all
Write
we
it down
got?
in there. Yeah, those are the ones
Yes,
I
you
got.
got a
I got
bell
Tommy
and a
laughing.
tree- a
Tommy
tree
knows.
switch.
Tommy knows. They used to have these in the Catholic school and stuff, and if you did stuff wrong, they would whack your knuckles in the class with the ruler, not the spoon.
Hi, Rebecca.
It's awesome.
I don't think you missed much. We were talking about tools that people use, our parents used, or we used on our kids. We said hot sauce for the mouth,
Yeah, people put this on the kid's tongue when they do things they shouldn't do as
bar
remembrance.
soap in the
So,
mouth. That's what Phil got for his dirty mouth. And then the good old belt. That's what I got
belt
growing
of
up.
discipline.
And the spoon. We used the spoon at
Very
our
early
younger,
age.
our younger time.
Yep. So the gist of this is that all of these things are extremely effective for the moment.
Fear tactics.
This is the key, is it's based out of fear, which means when you have the spoon or this or that, it's effective at the moment. It's very persuasive. If you actually spank your kids where it really hurts and they don't like it, and then you tell them again, if you do it, you're going to get a spanking, they will move in fear. It'll be effective. Some kids don't care when you spank them. So we end up spanking harder and longer and more swipes or swats or whatever you call it, trying to teach them a lesson.
Then you get into that power struggle thing that we talked
Yes.
about, I believe, last week or the week before, that you don't want to get into, especially the older they get. That
Yes.
power struggle is no fun at all.
Everything was based on connection, and our whole life with our friends, with family, you know, we love being around them. Connection, talking, communication. When you're away from them, it feels distant, even though it's not. It's just how it feels with the kids. When they distance themselves from you based out of fear, like when dad comes home and they have done something wrong and the kids immediately go hide, like there's no connection there. It's like, oh, dad, the Punisher's home. I did something wrong. I'm gonna get punished. And you know, punishment isn't really what discipline is. And discipline
Discipline is not harsh
okay.
punishment.
I get cut off all the time. It's normal.
It just goes with what you're saying.
Yeah, I get it.
Discipline is not harsh punishment.
Yes.
Discipline can be positive.
It's actually coaching. It's a teaching. It's smile. That's so funny. Oh man. So you know, discipline immediately gets the dirty word. It immediately thinks your mindset goes to punishment. Your mindset goes to fear, which is true because it's happened so much. You know, so we like to call it something different. You know, we call it connection, or what was the line that you had today that was so awesome? The name of it?
Oh,
Yeah.
discipline with freedom and love.
Freedom and love. It's what'd you write down? It doesn't say.
Well, I don't want to lose the
That's
thing
how
here.
it goes when you think about something that's not written down at the moment. Whatever the title is, that's such a beautiful way to put it, because you have to
Replacing it. Replace it. Fear, freedom, and love. Replacing
punishment.
Yeah.
Yeah, fear has to be removed from the house. We're gonna go back and forth because really we could talk about this for
Yeah,
like
we're
2
just having
hours.
conversation.
It's such a big deal, though. It's so big. So hopefully we can get it all out, and you can understand our squirrel mentality.
It's organic. This is not a performance.
It's
This is
definitely organic.
I put down a few little notes, and then it's organic.
This is how
So
we do our life.
hopefully you're okay with the low performance rating on here.
I don't
But-
take that. No low performance. Winners, strong, value. We're bringing value
Oh
to you.
boy.
We're going to keep going
Production.
forward with
It's not a
positivity.
full production.
Yes.
Anyways, I thought this was
Oh.
good that, we said we're learning along the way too and doing these videos. It's just bringing up the conversation and reminding you of certain things.
For sure.
And it's been good with our kids, engaging with them and having certain discussions maybe that we wouldn't have had before, but now that we're discussing these things and it's fresh.
Talking
and
about it.
yeah. So today I knew that we were going to be talking about discipline, and so I asked both of my kids individually without them being around each other, and just was curious to me, so maybe you guys could do this with your kids. And I said, when I say the word discipline from your parents to you, what do you think about? What is that word? What kind of pictures does that bring up, or thought processes for you? And Noah said, it makes me think how you guys tell me when I do something that's wrong, and then show me or tell me how to do it right. So that was his answer. And then Gianna asked her later at dinner, when you think of the word discipline from your parents, what kind of mental picture do you get, or thought processes? And she said,
After like 10 minutes.
yeah, well, it takes time. It's a deep question to really think about it. And it's not like a question you think about all the time.
For sure.
And so she said she really couldn't think of anything necessarily. She just felt like it was communication. Really, we just talk about things and we share our feelings about things. So we thought it was interesting that both of our kids basically said when they think of discipline from their parents, they think of talking, communication. And I was like, oh, that
Showing
really...
the better way.
Yeah,
Higher way.
and sharing feelings. And I thought, man, that made my heart feel so good,
Yeah.
because as a child, my disciplined thought processes would have been, hot sauce, spoon, yeah, exactly, the belt. And so I was like, oh, I love that.
Yes. Win for Team Bevilacqua.
So
Yes.
that'd be good for you to ask your kids maybe, and just think about, what's the first thing that comes to their mind when they think of discipline from you.
Yeah. And so what does it look like? How does it happen? Is it needed? Yes, it's needed. Yes, we need to be coaching and parenting our kids. And
Correction is about learning, not trouble. I thought that was good. Correction is about learning, not trouble. I think you said correction.
yes.
Go ahead.
Correction. Brother Mac used to say direction with affection. And that is the emphasis of our parenting when it comes to discipline. It really needs to be the way we're showing them the right direction, and we're doing it with affection. We're staying connected. We're not instilling fear. We're not bringing up fear. We're not yelling. We're not getting loud. Here's a really big one. We're not threatening. We're not threatening. Like, we only do these things because typically this is how we were parented, and so that's the model we have. And then we turn right around and we do the same thing because that's what we were taught.
We can be firm but kind.
Yes.
And calmness is our superpower.
That
You should
is.
repeat that after me. Calmness is my superpower.
Should even write that down in there so it
Calmness
registers.
is my superpower.
Calmness is your superpower.
Yes.
Because once you get out of hand, there's just chaos in the house. We have moved the atmosphere from peace and calmness to chaos and strife, power struggle, who's going to be the boss. You need to respect me. I'm your dad. I'm your mom. You're going to respect me. I'm going to make you respect me. We talked about that before. That is not direction with affection. There's no connection in that. It's a power play.
And you can
power
learn
play.
how to share the power with your children.
Yes, because you and I both know that if we sit back and are quiet and think about it, we want to raise powerful kids that aren't moved by fear, that aren't moved by peer pressure, aren't moved by what's popular and going on around them, that they're powerful. So really that's what we're trying to cultivate, is a culture of power, but it's not the parents and the kids struggling for who's the powerful
Yeah.
one.
And then
Right.
when they show a little bit of power, then we're like, ooh, we don't know what to do with that.
Yeah, or we want to buck up and spank harder, spank longer, ground longer, take everything away.
So we need
you
to
know,
find
do that stuff.
alternatives to
Alternatives.
physical punishment, physical discipline, alternatives to all these things that we showed you.
Yes.
And we were having the conversation earlier that I was thinking back, like, we haven't spanked our kids in so long. It's amazing. It's wonderful.
It's beautiful.
But not because we said, oh, spanking's bad and we're not going to do that
Yeah,
anymore.
we've never said we're not spankers.
Yeah,
That
we
wasn't what
never-
we said.
We never made that decision, but when we started learning these other tools, these other methods, and really connecting with our kids, it's amazing how
It just
we
works.
never had to do it anymore.
Yeah, it just works.
Yeah, it just works.
It took some time though, so I wanna release you here. Some of the stuff that we're saying might seem really foreign, might seem strange. You might not agree with what we're saying. All that is fine. We're just asking you to have an open mind and think about it tonight when you lay down about fear. What fear does in your kids. When you get loud and you start to try to power, does your kid cringe back? Like they're scared of you. And so when you think about it, am I instilling fear in my kids as a form of getting them to do what's right? Because that's law, and it's going to end up the exact opposite of what you think is going to happen. Because I'm going to give you a quick rundown if I'm not interrupted. This is what happens when you parent with fear. They grow up through the years of you coaching them with fear. You make all the decisions for them exactly how you want it to be. You threaten them every time they get out of line, so they are tip-top and they're in shape. When you're around, they are tentative and they are polite and they do all the right things and they say yes sir and they don't act wrong and they don't swear and they don't look wrong. They look people in the eye and they open the doors. They do all the right things while you're around. And then around 16, 17, 18, when they start to venture out with their friends more and drive and be away, they start doing whatever the hell they want to do because they do not know how to make a good decision because the fear has been the decision maker in the house. So when fear's not with them, they don't know how to make a good decision. They go buck wild. They do whatever they want to do. They're finally free, and they end up doing all this chaotic stuff because it was based out of fear. So that's not what anybody wants. So let's look at it this way. This is what we're trying to get across, is that if you parent with connection and parent with affection, direction with affection, you teach them how to make good decisions. You encourage them to be powerful while they're young. You encourage them to make decisions of how they're going to do things along the way. You encourage them to be powerful in their own mind and their own thought life without any kind of fear or us even being there. They're making good decisions. So when they're 16, 17, and 18, they leave the house, they're out, their friends are doing dumb stuff. They're like, no, I don't think this is a good decision. And so they're powerful enough to not be moved by their friends, moved by peer pressure, or moved by fear, and they can make a good decision. That's the end game, is that your kids grow up to be powerful, good decision makers. Good choices. Good choices. Good choices.
Good job.
Good job. Good talk.
Mm-hmm.
What you got?
We were going into finding alternatives to physical
Yes.
punishment, like timeout. And
Timeout.
yes, for instance, your kid is jumping on the couch. Just say, the couch isn't a jungle gym. My kids love to get in my car and push every single button there is in there and play with everything.
Yes.
You just say, my car is not a toy. Just
Real simple.
Yeah, making statements like that instead of letting it go, and then you get mad, and then you lose all your self-control, and then you're using fear, like he said.
Yes.
And
Controlling.
learning from mistakes and still feeling loved. I think that's a really big one, to allow your kids
Yes.
to make mistakes and then not give them the cold shoulder or give them the looks or whatever, or, ignoring them, like making them pay emotionally.
Withholding connection.
Yeah, withholding connection because they made a mess. Just paying attention to asking yourself, do I do that when my child, makes a mess or has bad behavior?
Because they're going to
whatever.
make messes. They're going to do dumb things.
Yeah, it's
It
just
happens.
having the connection, talking through it, and then giving them a hug or a kiss and just like reconnecting at the end. It doesn't, just because you're having the confrontation doesn't mean you have to have disconnection at the end.
Totally.
And then wait till however long before you kind of slowly start reconnecting. Make sure, especially when you're had that raw moment together, that learning moment, that you end it with a hug or a kiss, or depending on their age, holding their hands, or just something.
Connection, touch.
Yeah, something. And basically saying about when we share control, how we do that is by offering choices. And that is super powerful. And we were having the discussion earlier about, I think a lot of times, I know our kids are still fairly young, but
10 and 14.
you never get to certain behavioral issues. And I know we still got a ways to go. Not acting like we know everything.
Good God.
Or have been in every stage. But a lot of times, because we share the power, because we give them choices, and they're able to make those, I think a lot of times you don't get to certain behaviors
Yes.
where the discipline needs to even happen because
Yeah, 'cause
they
it's
feel
all nipped in the
powerful.
bud.
Yeah.
Because they're not struggling. Typically,
And
when
the
kids
choices
do
aren't
it,
like, you want to live or you want to die, kid. Yeah, those aren't the choices.
you want to do what I say, or do you want a spanking? That is a choice, but that's not really the choice we're talking about, because one still ends in fear. We're
Yeah.
talking about no fear choices. Like, for example, Noah hates going to bed at 8 to 8:30. He is like the ultimate, most amazing staller ever. Every single thing there could be. So when we're finally tired of it, not yelling, we're just like, here's the thing. You can either go to bed and turn everything off and go to sleep, or you can just go in your room and not make any noise and not come out. Either one of those
Yeah,
is
just
fine.
lay there.
So we've given them two choices that both involve going to bed, and both choices work for us, but he's powerful now to choose which one of those he wants to do. He hasn't been controlled, he hasn't been manipulated, and there hasn't been any fear of, if
There's
you
no
get out
power
of that
struggle.
bed one more time, I'm gonna wear your tail out, boy. There wasn't any of that. There was no power struggle.
Or like when he was younger, I remember we were downstairs, his room is upstairs, and saying, it's time to go upstairs and go to bed, time to go upstairs, go to bed. So then the choice, and it, like he said, it takes practice
And
to
time.
learn what these choices are. It takes work.
It doesn't happen
It takes
overnight.
intentionality.
Yeah.
Like,
Parenting with purpose.
yes.
Purpose.
And I know when you're tired, it's hard to think, what is the choice here? Like,
Purpose.
just go do it. But it was, do you want to go upstairs to your room, or do you want me to carry you upstairs to your room? That was a really great one. It worked. Like,
Yeah.
he was like, I'm going to go. And I'm
Yes.
like, great. Or sometimes carry me. Great. Either way,
Either one
we're
works.
going upstairs and we're going to bed.
Yes.
Yes. So always incorporating those choices, even like their clothing. I know this is different for different ages here, so we're just trying to offer a lot. Yeah, a couple
examples, yeah.
examples. But like what they're gonna wear for the day. You wanna wear this outfit or you wanna wear this outfit. And that gives them a choice to make. They feel powerful, and either way you picked the two outfits that you would want them to wear to whatever event you're going to.
That's obviously for the young kids when you're still picking out clothes.
And then releasing some control too. Like Noah would sometimes wear, I think, 2 different shoes or something
gosh.
back in the day. And I was like, okay, is this like really important? Like, am I gonna do this right here with him? Or am I just gonna let him be free and have his own little style here? And does it really
Yes.
matter? And saving those moments for the things that really matter, so it doesn't feel like you're always riding your kid over everything.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
'Cause
because
that's
it's
not
easy.
fun.
It's easy to ride them over every little thing, especially if your kid's kind of space out.
Yeah, it's like, do you want to
You
do
know.
the dishes now, or do you want to finish watching that show and then do the dishes afterwards?
Yes, we do that one with Gianna all the time. She does the dishes. She
With-
hates doing the dishes.
Noah, it's like, do you want to, now I homeschool so I can do this, but it's like, do you want to do your school now, or you want to do it after you play your game for 30 minutes? Or do you want to do language arts, or do you want to do math? You know, I'm always
Got 'em.
trying to give him freedoms to where he's choosing what he wants to do. It's not me always telling him exactly what he's going to do.
Yeah, because remember the two analogies of raising them up with fear or raising them up with power. The end game is your kids make good decisions when you're not around. Like, we have to be able to keep the end game focused. The goal is for them to make good decisions when mom and dad isn't telling them what to do.
And that builds confidence in them too.
For sure.
And a lot of the things, like with when you are having those conversations, when you get into them doing things they shouldn't be doing, I really loved this. Instead of lecturing and always like,
It's my favorite.
yeah, that's an area he's learning in, because he would lecture for a really long time.
Like 10 minutes,
He listened to our kids' input and he has shortened it.
2 minutes.
But what I think is really powerful is I like to ask them questions and pull it out of
Yeah,
them.
she's really good at that.
Instead of, I'm going to tell you everything I know, and then you're going to get this like glazed look on your eyes and you're just waiting for me to be quiet and done.
Yes.
I like to engage with them, like, this is us doing this together, and then asking them questions and letting them have the answers. And I'll say, see, you had all the answers inside of you. You already knew this.
Because they do.
Yeah.
It's already inside of them. Our
You're
job.
powerful. You
Yep.
already have the answers. It's all within you. It's just a matter of acting on them. Or if they say something that's rude, I'll say, you know, I didn't really appreciate the way that you just said that to me. It hurt my feelings. I kind of took it like this. What's a better way you could have said that?
Or is this how you meant to say it? Because this is the way I heard it. And see, these are communication tools. These are very much connection tools. And they're all making them powerful tools.
Gives them freedom. When you have
Gives them the
choices,
freedom,
you have
yes.
freedom. And when you're bringing freedom, there's going to be love. Because where there's love, there's freedom. So you're
Totally.
exchanging the punishment for freedom and love. Choices with love, not withholding your love. Connection.
Yes. It's not like we're not parenting. Like, it's not like people always want to know, like, how do you parent if you don't spank? And that's just a sure sign of, well, if that's the only tool you know. There's so much more.
Which
there's
so
so
did
much
we.
more. That's how we
We've
knew.
had to all learn it too, and
Yes.
still practicing it. Like, I think not too long ago, can I tell him?
Of course.
Not too long ago.
We're here. This is it.
You know, in the moment, like trying to say, well, if you don't do this, it's not going to be good for you. Because, I mean, that's so easy to say. And when you don't know the choice right in the moment
Yep.
and you're in that moment, you just are like, I don't know what it is yet, but it's not going to be good. But
I
it's,
don't know what it is.
yeah, it's kind of fear-based, you know, because
totally
you haven't
fear-based.
taken a moment. So it's okay, too, to also, you know, get back with them on it. You don't have to address everything right that second. Or, you know, my son had said something disrespectful the other day, and it was in front of somebody, and the person, like, looked at me real quick, kind of like, oh my gosh, like, did you just hear that, and are you going to address that? But I thought, you know what, I don't really need to address this right in this moment or in front of anybody and embarrass my child just because they kind of embarrassed me.
That's really big.
Yeah,
You
just
should tweet that.
and waiting for the right moment. Like, I just felt like it wasn't the right moment. So later that night, usually when you go to tuck them in bed, it's kind of like cuddle time and, you know, just end of the day, tucking them in, and just, you can revisit it and kind of say, you know, remember earlier today when this happened and you made this comment to me? This is how it made me feel. What is another way you could have said that? Or could you see how that was? You know, just kind of talking about it calmly.
Connection.
And could you try to not do that next time? Or could you use the other thing you just thought of? I think that's a great idea. That would have been nice. And I find that their heart is so soft and tender when you find that right moment and you
Yes.
approach it in that way, that they really are compassionate and they really want to do the right thing, and they're
They
like, I'm
totally
sorry,
want
like
to.
I didn't want to hurt your feelings. And man, that moment right there is just so priceless, and it's just such a connection.
Yes.
It's such an engulfing love moment that I end up walking out and I'm like, oh, my heart is full. That's parenting right there.
Yes, parenting with purpose. It's a win.
Yes,
You know, it's
even
a
though we
win.
fail plenty of other times. So, you really got to celebrate and give yourself pats on the backs for the times when it is a win.
Yes, because it's, it is not easy. And the thing with parenting like this is it really takes time and it takes discipline for the parents.
Self-control.
Self-control and discipline
Thought.
for the parents to think through,
Yeah.
think connection, think purpose, because at the end of the day, your kids really, really want to please you and make you proud and make you just feel so full that you're so proud of your kids. That's really what they want. I mean, genuinely, that's what they want. So when they miss it and mess up, it's not because they intentionally, are out to get you or to embarrass you or to make you look silly or to be powerful. They're just having a struggle. And 9 times out of 10, when the kids are acting up, it's because they want connection and they want your attention. Ooh, it's so big. They want your attention. And sometimes parents, including us, if we don't put this down and everything else going on in our busy schedules and we get selfish with one another and our time, the only way they get your attention is by acting a fool. And so they will subconsciously act a fool just
Or be
because
around.
you will be there and give them attention and be on them and around them and connecting with them, even if it's in a bad way. That's the desire for your kids, to want to connect, that they would do that subconsciously, so that they can get your attention. So when we give it to them in the right way, it's filling their love bucket, it's filling their love language, and you find out that life itself, parenting with the kids, just becomes a beautiful flow, and it's not all chaotic and crazy because everybody's controlling themselves,
Yeah.
right? And it takes longer to do it, and disciplining yourself to take the time to do it on purpose, because you got to admit, this happens in a second. This works right away. Doing the things that we're saying doesn't work right away, but remember the end game. We want them to make good decisions when you're not around, and so that's the key, is making them be powerful as they grow up, showing them how powerful they are, showing them that they already have the answers inside, that they just need to release the answers to all their situations. And that's really what you want as well. Everybody's on the same page. It's just figuring out how to make it all gel together. Making it
Yeah,
gel.
not wearing your feelings on your sleeves. Like the other day before yesterday, Gianna had said something and I got my feelings hurt. I felt like, oh, this is one of those moments where I could kind of, jump back and feel like it was disrespectful. But instead, I think I just said something like, that's not the kind of relationship I want to have with you. I don't
she
know
put
if
it
you
right back
see
on.
that modeled someplace else with other, mother-daughter relationships or whatever. But I want to have a relationship with you that's full of love and full of kindness and respect for one another. And
Yeah, she got sharp and rolled her eyes and said something that she typically doesn't say.
yeah, so it was just an opportunity, and we just communicated through it, and then we ended with, once we got home, I gave her a hug and a kiss and said, this is the kind of relationship I want to have. So, just casting vision of how you see
Yes.
your relationship and showing them
huge.
that's how you see it. So,
That's awesome.
yeah.
Casting vision, sharing vision with them, putting it out there before them. It's good stuff.
Yeah,
good
it was
stuff.
another feel-good moment where I was like, see, I could have jumped all over that and put her in her place and used my parent
And been powerful.
badge, my parent badge on why I'm allowed to do this, but I didn't, instead
I'm
it was
dead.
just like, put your ego down, put your parent badge down, and just like, connect.
Connect.
Yeah,
Connect.
and cast vision on the kind of relationship that you're looking to develop with them.
Yes, and that goes back onto what we were saying with the other stuff, with the fun zone You know, this is the fun time, fun place. You know, it's a no cry zone. You're free to cry. You know, if you want to cry about it, just go to your room and cry till you're done and then come back to the fun zone. You know, it's just those kind of things make them powerful, and it allows them to feel powerful. So that's
I think
the
next
gist.
week we want to do unless you guys can think of something else that you would like for us to share next week, a topic we didn't cover. We were thinking we would do a Q&A with P&J, so if you have any specific questions that you would like for us to answer, that
About
gives
parenting.
us some content, and that way we can serve you and give you as much value as we possibly can.
Yes, please write your questions
Yes,
down.
so if you'll
We're
put
not
them
mind readers.
in the thread here or inbox us or the This Is Us Life Coaching page, if you'll inbox on there, and then next week we can do the Q&A with P&J.
Yeah.
And
Be sure to share this out.
yes,
Send it to
share
your
it out
friends.
right now. Share it out. Share it out.
Share it when we're done. Share it tomorrow. This is the kind of stuff, you know, for me, I need to make a shameless plug, not about us, but about this kind of parenting. You know, this is the kind of parenting that will allow your kids to be super amazing when they're adults. I'm not saying that they can't. I wasn't parented great because my mom didn't know. I was a complete basket case till I was 26 years old. I just started to become a man when I was 26, and I made it. Like, I made it through it all, so it can happen. But man, how much better would it have been if I would have been on point up till I was 26, right? We would have been in different places and doing different things. So the end game is that they make good decisions and they're powerful. So share this with people, get it out. This is the kind of stuff that
We appreciate
takes
it.
fear out of the house. And fear is just a killer for connection. It kills connection. Your kids should never be scared of their parents. I'm going to say it again. Your kids should never be scared of the parents. They should always feel like the parents are the safest place they could go. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Safe place.
Mm-hmm.
Safe place. That's the connection. So share it with people, like it, comment underneath there where you're from, and please, if you have any questions about any kind of parenting, put it down in there. We will answer them next Tuesday night at 7:30. We love you guys. You're amazing. This is us.